Okay, dear friends, I'm back. Today, I'd like to go through the machine of the Shuriken node. I think this is the second one in the series of Shuriken. And I'll add the link into the description section below so that you can download it. Before we begin today's video, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You are greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's just get started. To save time, I have already imported the virtual machine into the virtual box. So now we can go inside the Kali Linux VM. As you can see, I have already discovered the IP address of the target as 252 by the tool like Net Discover. Many tools you can use. And then I did the map scanning with the option like scene scan, virtual scan, default script scan, and also the comprehensive scan. From the map scanning results, as you can see, the two open ports. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service, and also the actual version information. As we know, this version doesn't have any vulnerability. And the second one is 8080, which is running HTTP. But here, it's noteworthy. Pointing out the target is running Node.JS Express framework. If you follow along my series of video, I think the Node.js Express framework has de-serialization attack. So we will get to that one when we get there. Okay, so now we can, of course, for us, what we are going to do next is to do immersion. For the 8080, let's fire up our browser and put the IP address of the target. But don't forget to put the port number as well. As you can see, welcome guest. I think this should be username, but please log in to continue. And if we click the inspect on the browser and go to the storage, as you can see, we have the session and we have cookie information. Even we didn't make a successful login, so we can make a copy of this session data to analyze what's inside. Let's make a copy, and we can use the Chef tool. And we can paste in here. And from the, I think if you're familiar with the URL pattern, I think this is encoded by URL scheme. So we can URL, search operation, decode. We got the result. But again, the output, it looks like encoded in base 64. So we can choose the second operation. Here, we got the meaningful output. We can make a copy and copy to our notebook, as you can see here. So I think now we can manipulate or modify the data and try to log in as admin, as I have already modified earlier. So we can make a copy of the manipulated content and go back to our Chef, and we need to do the reverse operations. We can copy here and paste in here, and then of course we need to first to encode in base 64, and then we need to encode to the URL pattern, and we must specify this option to encode all special chars. So the result will be very similar to the original one. Just the content is different, so we can make a copy of the output and then go back to our browser. We can remove the original data and paste in here. Now we can refresh the page. As you can see, the username has been modified to the admin, but we still need to log in. So wait a moment, I mentioned at the very beginning, the Node.js Express framework has de-serialization attack, for example, like here. And we need to, as you can see, we can generate the payload, but somebody has done a very useful things for us. Make it much easier. Yeah, this one, the Node.js shell. This Python script will help us to generate the payload. I have already copy and create this Python script onto the Kali Linux. As you can see, list the file. Yeah, this one, the Node.js shell. But one thing I need to point out is that the original Python script, yeah, this one, is written in Python 2. As you can see, very easy to identify. But my local Kali Linux has Python 3 installed. So before I can use this Python script, I need to do some modifications. But I think the step involved will be very easy. I don't want to demonstrate this part here. So anyway, we can run this Node.js shell script, but we need to provide the localhost. Of course, localhost is our Kali Linux, and also accompanying a port number. As you can see, this is the payload. But before we can use this payload, we need to do additional steps like here. I will add the link into the description section, so you can get more information about how to utilize this or how to exploit this vulnerability. As you can see here, we need to include our payload, what we just created or generated into this JSON. I think this is in JSON format, and I have already just displayed over here. I have already replaced the payload earlier. So now we can make a copy of this payload, I mean the entire payload. And before we can use that, we need to make operations, 2 steps of the encoding. As you can see, we got the output and copy to the clipboard. And then we can storage, cookies, and replace this one. But before we refresh this page, we need to set up the listener first. Okay, and now we can refresh and go back to our terminal. As you can see, it's connected from the target, and we can make it to be interactive by Python import pty module, and the method is spawn bin bash shell, because it looks better. And then of course, now we need to do some local enumeration. The two users, this one is our current user, and the next thing for us is to make lateral movement to another user. Now we can go inside the home directory of this user, but go inside. CD serve permission denied. So I think now we need to find the vulnerabilities or misconfigurations or some files which can help us to make lateral movement. So how to do it? We can use the linear shell script for our purpose. And we need to upload this linear shell script to the target, and we can use the wget to linears, and we need to make it executable or add the executable permission to this file, and then we can run or execute this linear shell script. As I mentioned, the linear shell script is so useful at the stage of the local privilege escalation because it will go through all possible misconfigurations, all possible local privilege escalation vulnerabilities, and also will emulate some files which contains credentials or some other important files information. It's over, it's finished, and let's scroll up. As you can see, the backup files have been emulated out, and here, this one caught our attention. If you take a look at this result or output carefully, so we can go inside this directory, the var backups. Just this one. But at this moment, we didn't have the permission to unzip this file. You can try that. Permission denied, because we didn't have a right to create the file. Okay, so we can copy this zip file to the temp directory, and we can go to the temp directory, and then we can download this SSH backup file onto the Kali Linux. So how to do it? Again, we can use the Python 3 similarly. Okay, and now we can open new tab, but we can navigate to our current working directory, and then we can use the wget to download that backup file from target. It's done, and then we can unzip this file without any issue. Actually, the ID private key is there, and then we can, of course, we need to make or modify the permissions before we can use this private key. Okay, we need to remove the current or existing key information for the target or for this IP address, and then we can make login again. Yes, accept, but we need to provide passphrase to use this private key. So how to do it? We can use the SSH to join to or script. I think SSH to join is Python script, and okay, the hash is generated, and then we can crack the password, the hash. Since I have already cracked earlier, so the John the Ripper will not stupidly crack the password again, but we can use the show command to display the password. Yeah, this one. So we can make a copy, and then we can log in to the target again, and we can pass the passphrase to the OK. As you can see, we have already logged in to the target via SSH with the user serve admin. So next thing for us is to elevate. Of course, we can cut the content of the user flag if you wish, and then of course we need to elevate our privilege. The first thing we need to check is sudo to see whether this current user can run sudo. But yes, we can run the Shuriken auto timer. So, and without supplying the password of a root user. So I think now we need to manipulate this file, and we can. But before we do that, we need to locate this file first, and then we can modify or manipulate. As you can see, we can go inside the two files related to this surface. Okay, I think you are so familiar with the system control command. Yeah, we can like start, like stop and restart the surface. So I think now we need to make some manipulation for these two files. The first one is timer. Of course, we do not have to wait 30 minutes. We just 1 minute, right, to save the time, and then we can rewrite the file, and let's quit. But also we need to change this file. Shuriken surface job, and here we can remove this one, and we can run our own shell script. Of course, we need to put our shell script to the temp directory, and then let's rewrite, and let's quit, and we can go to the temp directory, and then we can change mode. No, we need to create the test shell script. And now we want to change the permission of the sudoers file. If we can change the permissions of this file, sudoers, and then we can make our current user to be a member of the sudo group. Okay, and we can, I think we can rewrite and can quit. But before we can use that, we need to make it executable. So now we can sudo. We need to stop this surface, right? And then we need to start, right? And now if we check the permissions of a sudoer, as you can see, everyone has a right to write or modify the content of this file. So we can nano. And now let's scroll down. We need to copy this line. Oh, not this one. And we can paste in here. But this time, not only we want the serve admin user run the systemctl command, also I want him to be capable of run executing bin bash. And let's write and quit. Let's quit. Let's cut the content again. Yeah, I think it's correct. So, but you know, right now we need to change the permission of this file. Otherwise, the sudo cannot work properly. So now we need to go to we need to change this shell script to the 440. And now we need to stop the service. Weird. Sudo. I need to fix this issue first. Sorry, I'm back. I think we do not need to stop or start the service again. As you can see, we have already modified the permissions settings. So now I think we have already become a member of a sudo group. And now we can sudo bin bash. As you can see, we have already become the root user. And then we can get the root flag without any problem. So that's pretty much it. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.